Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Last time you saw us, we were at home in England in our camper van, and as you can probably tell from the scenery behind us, we are no longer in England and we are not in our camper van. We asked you to guess where we were going next and we had loads of good guesses, however not a single one of you was right.
And we're not surprised, to be fair, because it is pretty left field. Guys, we are in the Caribbean, in Grenada to be exact.
If you're new to our channel, we're James, Sarah and Adi, and usually you'll find us travelling the world in our self-converted campervan Casi, which we've lived in full time for nearly 3 years now. But this summer, we're doing something a bit different. We've said goodbye to Casi, strapped on our backpacks and made the long journey to the tiny Caribbean island of Grenada. It's just 21 miles long and 12 miles wide, but it's where my mum is from and hence where much of my heritage and consequently Adi's comes from. I've only visited here once 20 years ago and Adi and Sarah have never been, so we're all super excited to get to know the place better. So for the next 6 weeks, this is where we'll be. And we'd love you to join us as we learn more about this side of our family's culture and history.
During our time here, we're actually going to be staying in various apartments across different parts of the island. So we thought, what better way to kick off our first video than to show you around where we currently are.
Hello, come on in, let's give you the tour. When you first come in here, we have a little dining room area with table and chairs. This is where we've been eating. And then coming through here is the living room area. So we've got a sofa and a couple of chairs. The space is absolutely massive. Compared to living in the van, it just feels so different. Like we've not known what to do with ourselves in the space. It's absolutely lovely. And then coming through here is the bedroom. So we all sleep together in the same bed in the van, so same here, we've just all been sleeping in the bed here. Been really thankful for the mosquito net. We've even got a little desk space over here where we've been able to work. We've actually got aircon in both rooms as well, in the bedroom and in the living room, but we haven't even used it because we don't actually like aircon, so unless it's like absolutely unbearable, we won't have it on, we'll just have the fans on, and there's some ceiling fans in here which are great. Coming through here then is the bathroom. Same with the space, having water on tap and just being able to have as many showers as we want is just, yeah, a real treat for us, because that's not normally something that we have in the van, obviously. So we're definitely making the most of the space and the services. Being here for quite a while, we obviously had to bring some of Adi's toys with her, so we've got them on that little shelf over there, and she just absolutely loves being able to get them and decide what she's playing with. Very similar to the van in that she can open a cupboard and everything's there. We tried to set it up in the same way for her. And just through here we've got a little kitchen. It's a bit weird because it's kind of been added on as an extension, so there's some steps there. That's why all our food is just on there, but yeah, it's got everything that we need to be able to cook. We've been eating out most of the time, but obviously we can't do that every day, all day, so yeah, we have been cooking here a little bit as well. I think my favourite thing about this entire place though is the floor. The tiles are just absolutely gorgeous. I really, really love them. They go all the way through and then back outside again. Let's head out there. So this is our outside area. It's absolutely stunning. We've loved sitting here. So we've got a table that we can eat out here again at as well, and then just some chairs that we can relax in. And yeah, it's just such a nice space. Let us know in the comments what you think of it.
This grand house is part of the Tower Estate, one of Grenada's historic great houses. And the main reason that we chose to stay here was actually more to do with the outside than the inside, as this gorgeous building is surrounded by a lush 7-acre working estate. Within that, there are 2 acres of manicured gardens packed full of exotic flowers and plants that have numerous different uses, from making perfumes to creating specialist teas. Many of them are also just beautiful to look at, and in fact, this estate regularly supplies flowers for the Chelsea Flower Show in England. There's also lots of land dedicated to growing organic vegetables. There are goats that live here and tons of fruit trees laden with mangoes, starfruit, limes, avocados, coconuts and many more. And we were allowed to wander the gardens and pick whatever fruit we wanted.
What's the first thing that springs to mind when you think about the Caribbean? I bet you said beautiful beaches. Grenada has got its fair share, and that's where we're headed today. We are going to Grenada's most famous tropical beach. It's called Grenada, and we thought we'd take you along with us.
But to get there, because we are on top of a hill, we've got to actually get 2 buses, which is an adventure in itself. We'll tell you more about that when we get to the bus stop. So these buses here in Grenada are absolutely mad. Jay tried to prepare me the first time I went on one, and I still didn't quite get it until I got on there, and I was just like, oh my gosh. There are bus stops, but you can just pretty much flag one of these buses down anywhere, and there's actually one coming, so. I was just explaining the buses then, and one came, so we had to jump on it because you can't mess around with them. There's no time to be like dilly-dallying. Anyway, we have taken the first bus and we are now in St George's in the capital. So we've taken one out down through the hills, and then this is where we get on the next one to the beach. So they just go so fast, like the roads are really widened anyway, but you're just like flinging around all over the place, and they have blaring soccer music in them, so that's all like going on, and they're just really warm because there's so many people crammed in. They're basically like, I don't know, like little minibuses. So there's about 20 people in them, and the driver and the conductor. You just whiz around the roads and people stop and get off anywhere. There are actual bus stops, like the one that we are at the minute, that's a bus station behind us. But yeah, you can just hail them from the side of the road wherever you want.
We were just about to jump on the bus and it started absolutely pelting it down with rain. So we decided that we were going to wait here in a bus station instead of getting on the bus, because we don't want to arrive at the beach when it's actually raining. So we're going to wait until it passes and then we're going to get the bus. The reason why it's raining is because it's actually rainy season here. So you can expect rain pretty much most days, but it's not cold rain like it is in the UK. It's actually really warm still, so it's not that unpleasant, but we still don't want to get soaking through. Now back to the etiquette of the buses. It is really different here to any other country that we've been in before. Basically, you can hail them over from anywhere, as Sarah already explained, and you just jump on, but they hold about 18 people officially. However, if more people are wanting to get on, then magically space appears, everyone just shuffles up a little bit and you can make space for one more person. So we've been on buses where there've been like 22 people on, which is pretty incredible. If you want to stop the bus and get off, then you can just knock on the side or knock on the window, and that tells the conductor that you want to get off, and he will then snap his fingers a couple of times, and that tells the driver that he needs to stop to let you off. Well, we have arrived at the beach and we found a lovely shaded spot under a tree. One thing that is always amazing to me about Grenada Beach is that it is not busy ever. It's the most popular beach in Grenada, and I don't know whether it's something to do with it being so large or just that not that many people come here. It's never overrun. It's really, really lovely and peaceful. Anyway, there are always people coming up and down selling bits of fruit and things to drink, coconut, stuff like that. And we've just bought some of these. Now, I know it is something called skin up, but we have tried it in other places across the world. I think in Asia, yeah. And it's got different names depending on where you buy it from. So as you can see, it looks something like a lychee, but it's completely different in flavour. It's kind of sour, a little bit sweet, and I think the stone is probably a lot bigger than any other fruit like that we've tried as well. But they're absolutely delicious.
We've not been here very long, but we are already starting to get a little bit hungry. So Jay has nipped off to find somewhere to get something, and we're holding the fort down here at the beach, aren't we, Bob? Here he comes with the goods. Well, this is just absolutely incredible. Like, the water is just pristine, it's beautiful, so clear, and the temperature's just like It's a really nice temperature as well. Like, I probably could stay in here all day.
Right, we are off and leaving the beach. It is only about 4 o'clock, and usually, you know, we'd like to spend a little bit longer on the beach. However, we've got to do the same journey that it did on the way here to get back, and it is going to be rush hour anytime soon, which means that there's going to be a whole load of traffic and a whole heap of people trying to get on the bus at the same time as us. So we're going to try and beat it slightly, and hopefully we can get back in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, it also gets dark here really quite soon. Like, I don't know, I just didn't expect that. Like by 8 o'clock it's like pretty much dark.
Behind us is Grenada's capital, St George's, and we have come in to do a bit of exploring because it is the place where a lot of the action takes place. But first, we're absolutely starving, so we're going to go and grab some lunch. Okay, for lunch we have gone for something that I've been excited to eat since we've got here because I haven't had one in ages. And it's something called a roti. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a wrap, and it is stuffed usually with some kind of a stew or a curry. And we have gone for chicken, and it looks amazing.
This is absolutely delicious. Really, really, really good. The quickest way to get between the town and the marina here is to go through this tunnel behind us, but it's shared by both cars and pedestrians, so we're going to try and whiz through it quite quickly.
The roughly 100-metre long Sendall Tunnel was originally built to allow horses and carts to get from one side of town to the other without having to navigate the massive hills in between. And for its time, it was an impressive feat of engineering.
Well, that wasn't as terrifying as I expected actually. It's plenty wide enough for people to go on one side and cars to go on the other, and it is only one way, so you know exactly where all the cars are coming from as well. The reason why we've come through to this area of town is to go to a place called the House of Chocolate, and it is exactly as it sounds. Sarah just said to me, what, it's made of chocolate? So maybe it's not exactly as it sounds.
No, it's not made out of chocolate, but it is one of the best places on the island to come and discover how chocolate is made. Chocolate is one of the main exports from Grenada, and there are 6 different chocolate factories on the island. This mini museum gave us the lowdown on how chocolate is actually produced, from fermentation to the finished product, as well as the byproducts like cocoa butter. And of course, there was plenty of sampling of the goods along the way.
It is absolutely sweltering outside, so we are really relieved to find out that they sell ice cream in here, and also an iced type of cocoa tea as well. So we're going to get both of those and we're going to try them now. How is it?
Oh wow, it's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of like spicy and creamy.
Not chocolate?
Yeah, and chocolatey, but you wouldn't immediately think it's chocolate, if that makes sense. It's really nice.
Okay, this iced cocoa tea is absolutely delicious, but it is so rich. We're both wishing that we'd just got one between us to share, because it's a pretty big mug as well. I don't think we're going to finish it. Because it is such a hilly island, Grenada is not sure on amazing viewpoints, but this has got to be one of the best. We're at Fort George, which is the oldest fort in Grenada actually, and it was built by the French in the early 1700s. And you can see from here right across to the marina, the Carronage, the road which goes around the marina, and across St George's as well, which is in the other direction. And it is a really steep climb up to get here, but it is definitely worth it for these incredible views.
Not only does Fort George boast spectacular views, but it's also one of the most significant historical structures on the island, and a stark reminder of its colonial past. Originally called Fort Royal when Grenada was a French colony, it was renamed Fort George after the reigning British king when it was seized by the British in 1762.
Now I should probably say that the fort itself is actually closed at the moment because there is a ton of building work going on in there. However, it is definitely still worth the trip up because outside there are still some viewing platforms that give you access to incredible scenic views across the whole of the bay. It feels like a really fitting place to end the day, watching the sunset on the two areas that we have explored earlier, both St George's and the Carenage and the marina area where the chocolate shop was. That's also where we're going to end this week's video. If you enjoyed our first taste of the Caribbean, then do let us know by hitting that like button down below. And if you are new around here, then please hit that subscribe button if you want to follow the rest of our adventures in Grenada. We've got a lot more stuff planned and it's some really exciting stuff as well. So hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that little bell button too whilst you're there so you get notified every time we post a new video.